talk to him in a minute. Go ahead. Good.
Johnny Garrett?
Ready?
Talking about Johnny Garrett?
You know John Westerland?
Oh.
Some guy called me one to rent my pump for the day. I like this hook, man. Yeah, well, his pump broke down. So he's got a swing, and he just wanted to, borrow mine. So then he calls me back about an hour later. He goes, hey, who works on your pumps when they break down? And I said, I do. I'm like, what do you got? Oh, I got a swing. And I'm like, the only guy in town works on swings. I said, the problem with that is, I said, he died about a month or two ago.
Oh,
you know,
man.
Charlie down there.
He comes in here. But right, you're down a minute ago. What's up?
Bigger hammer.
Yep.
What does everybody else do about J-bolts? You came up with that idea with the board.
Do they just stick them in there?
Well, see, I didn't know how thin his mix was going to be, and with a 4 foot of rebar on there, I was afraid they were going to settle down in there.
Well, that was a good idea. Now they're all jacked. You ain't got to worry about it. You know what you got. There ain't no having to shim or
Well, that's the general idea.
thread a bit more or something.
Measure twice, cut once.
Well, usually there's a guy with a trowel and he's setting bolts and stuff.
Well, we're gonna have a bit extra here. You think I guessed it right at 26 and a half? Or I guessed too much?
I don't know. They're all 12s, right?
Yeah. Well, except it appears they're 8s.
The 12s eat up a lot of mine.
Yeah, I used some concrete website I used to calculate. I calculated the lengths of the walls and knocked off maybe a quarter to a half a gun.
You can keep the pump running, but just give yourself a little more slack. There you go. Almost, man.
I see you.
I reckon the kids didn't make it. fly for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know. That's the reason I said something. Get a picture of it now, because I'm gonna have to bring it down. I'm about 80% already.
Okay, now this is Ard.
Oh,
Hi, Ard.
hi.
Thank you for helping us today.
You're welcome. It was fun.
And he has something to show us. He has battle scars, see?
Hey, Art's completely metal, man. Hey!
Yeah, right. No.
Alright, so with working on see the wind has kicked up considerably, so that kind of put an end to our aerial shooting with my drone and Ard's helicopters. I think he brought like 5 of them over. He flew every one of them. But anyhow, let me give you a quick go around on what we had to do to get ready for the contractor to come out here with that pump machine. And one of the things that we had to do is, for example, with the foundation vents, you know, we're using 12-inch block, but to make our vent you just lay an 8-inch block on its side and flush it up to the outside perimeter. Well, that leaves you a big gap right here, and if you try to pour the grout fill in there, it would just run right out the bottom. So, but at the same token, you have to leave these holes open so he can fill in this all the way down to the bottom. So it was a bit of a trick, but I came up with an idea that worked real well for him, and the contractor guy was reasonably impressed by it. He said usually they have a apprehension when they find out they're coming to a homeowner job like or project like this, because you know most of the time they're not ready, and you know they don't realize that you got to plug all the holes and all that sort of thing. But you know, thankfully my stepdad did construction, and so I learned all the tricks and stuff to avoid the gotchas. But anyhow, so we did all that, and we've got all our cores full now, so it doesn't have to be pretty. The stuff they gave us that they used was actually like the super duper high strength grout. I was expecting it to be just a cement mix with no aggregate or rocks in it, but this is apparently their 4,000 pound concrete mix, and they were able to run it through a pump. So this wall will be here after the second coming, is the one guy said. So, and it won't settle or crack. So we're going to be really happy about that. And then, you know, we try to smooth it off as best we can while we're doing it, while it's wet. But once it finally dries and sets up, just drag a trowel across the top of it to knock all the high bits off, and then we'll be ready for the put the sill plates down. Which brings up the other bit, the J bolts for the sill, to hold the sill down. Now, if you recall from my previous posting, my video, we extended these J bolts so they go way down to the bottom of the footer, and I cut these boards here so that when we put these things in, that we're able to center them by the way the board sits. So as long as the board's anywhere here lined up with the edges of one of the edges of the block, then the J bolt is perfectly centered in the block. So, and the thickness of the board, okay, with the nut, by setting the nut just where we want it, and by pushing it down to mate with this board, we know that the J bolt is sticking up far enough, or not sticking up too far, to where it's just at the perfect height. So, those little bitty tricks of the trade that just make life a whole lot easier further down the road. And then, of course, for our heating and air conditioning, we want to use a geothermal system. So I have to have a way to get my loop lines out of the house, and it's a whole much better idea to go ahead and set your holes and put PVC pipe through right here when they're filling the core filling the block, so that you can run your lines through. You see there's 6 tubes running through the wall, and of course each one's running through the hollow portion of the block. So draw a hole here, here, and then here, and here, and here, and here, and then you run the PVC pipe through, and you cut your hole just the right size. You stick that PVC pipe through, and it fits nice and snug, and when they pour the concrete in, it doesn't all run out. So then that's 2-inch PVC pipe. The geothermal loop lines are going to be 1 inch, so they'll go right through those tubes real nice, and then we'll spray the spray spooge expanding foam in there, and that'll keep them from rubbing against anything and getting rubbing a hole in it, causing a leak. So we have that, and we'll just take and have a look around and give the camera back to my master camera person here. And we'll just go along and see how we've got it filled. Oh, I guess I'll just show one thing, because those of you with a sharp eye will pick it up and say something about it. But these little bits right here, they're structurally insignificant, because this little skinny hole here lands on one of these, the center web. If you shoot a picture of that, the center web of the block below it. So, I mean, you can fill it or not. We just raked the extra down in there to fill those up. But you'll see some of those aren't filled up all the way, and that's why, because they don't really need to be. They're just a place to scrape the excess grout that they maybe pumped. Then, you always hope to guess just a little tiny bit extra, because that's a whole lot better than guessing not enough. And all you do, you pour it down in a hole somewhere, and that's all the extra we had. So we were we calculated it pretty darn close. So now that we have a nice solid foundation and all our piers are done, then we'll get ready to start framing here before too long. So anyway, thank you for watching us on our journey to building our own home. And it's a lot of work, but you know, we also save a lot of money too by not having to have to pay somebody to build it for us. Now, this deal here with the concrete pump is worth every penny. You know, I mean, we couldn't have rented a concrete pump and done it ourselves for what these guys charged to come out here and do it. And they did a heck of a fine job. They were in and out, and they didn't dally. They got the job done right, and of course, they came highly recommended. So, and anyway, thank you for watching. Feel free to comment. We always welcome your comments and questions or anything. Comment section below, or you can email us directly at MacGyver'sWorkshop@gmail.com. Thanks again. See you next time.